make sure you watch Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Hello, and welcome to another week of Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics. I am Dennis with my co-host Teresa.
Hi guys.
We have Vera Worthington, who's going to be our guest tonight,
Hi,
which
everybody.
we'll get to in a little bit. And so last week we dropped some big bombs,
Yeah, sorry guys.
which is it just seems to be the month for it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, with Game of Thrones final season, the Marvel cinematic quest to Endgame is coming to an
Endgame.
end next week.
I'm excited for that one.
Cobra Kai is coming back out. Yes. Did you watch the video I sent you
I
yet?
didn't watch
You
it.
suck.
I
She
know.
sucks.
I know, I'm in trouble tonight.
But anyway, so that was basically last week was dropping the bombs. The main one being that Teresa cannot be here every week anymore.
Sorry guys. But now instead of it being like, oh, Teresa's not here tonight, at least you know at the end of every month I'll be back.
Right, so the other weeks of the month will be the Newman Show, which I announced last week, which is going to be a different format. It's going to be more topic-based than entertainment-based. We will have guests along with it. I'm trying for the first week to get a bail bondsman in. I've been in touch with her. She thinks she's good. But if she is in, we're going to talk about bail reform and how that affects you. And that's very... If you don't know about it, you should. One way or another, you should have an opinion on it. And if you don't know, you'll see when we have the episode. I'm not going to spend too much time on that tonight because it's not the Newman Show. It's Pinup, Cool Cats, and Comics.
Ah.
And we have a Pinup and Cool Cat.
Yay!
So, let's get into it then. Ready
Yes.
for some sponsors? We're going to talk about Kayla Logistics first. And my cousin Frank, who is shooting darts tonight. We'll get to that
At
after the
Dugan's.
ads. So, Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. Moving products you use every day across the country and around the world. Contact Frank Zambuto for all of your domestic and international logistic projects. Frank has over 20 years' experience working with many name brand companies in the apparel, cosmetics, as seen on TV, and electronic industries. For trucking, air, and ocean cargo on all 7 continents, all you need is one solution. To all Cool Cat listeners, just mention our show, and Frank will offer a free cost and transit time analysis for all your cargo. When cost and time matter, we deliver. Frank Zambuto and Kayla Logistics. We have business is our priority, and you can reach Frank direct at 347-536-3933 and email at frank@kaylalogistics.com. And you definitely want to check Frank out. He knows what he's doing. He's very good. And I'm going to apologize now. My allergies have been kicking in, so I may have some coughing issues
My
tonight. So
allergies have
deal
been
with
really
it.
bad too.
And Frank also put us in touch. His lovely wife Sarah's father has a company called Day 3 Botanicals.
Oh, my beloved Day 3.
And we are pleased to welcome them back. They are well known for their organically grown full-spectrum hemp oil rich in CBD. It is wonderful for aches and pains, stress, anxiety, inflammation, and better sleep. The sublingual drops are easy to use once or twice a day or as directed by your healthcare professional. As promised, after months of trials and testing, Day 3 is proud to offer you their very own Hemp Supreme Pet Formula. A convenient to use liquid in a dropper bottle that allows you to flavor your pet's favorite treat with a healthy full spectrum hemp oil to safely aid your pet's inflammation, aches, and pains, to relax and calm them and help them sleep better at night. Visit day3botanicals.com to see their current lineup, and what I'm excited about is a new topical pain cream is coming soon. And if you're just listening and not watching, Day 3 is spelled out THREE. And remember to use our exclusive Cool Cats 10 discount code for 10% off, and that 10 is 10. Use it at your time of checkout. You can mix and match, and remember that all Day 3 products are organically grown in the United States, so no foreign hemp oil or synthetic CBD is used. They make Day 3 products with your health and well-being in mind. Visit day3botanicals.com for current prices and complete product information, and remember to use the exclusive Cool Cats 10 discount code for our listeners. And if you remember last week, I was looking for a pet to be a trial, not experiment. We realize that's a bad name. So Vera happens to have a dog that would fit
Cutest little
that
dog.
because she gets excited with
She gets
or very anxiety ridden.
scared
Just
with
slide a little bit
thunder.
more.
Yeah, I'm like, I keep sliding this way.
Is she going for your eye?
Okay.
Save that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the thunder and the fireworks and the loud
Fireworks,
noise,
oh my God.
which
Our
you'll have a lot where you
neighborhood
live.
is ridiculous in the summertime. It's just, they start like, they'll probably start like next week. I mean, it's so bad in the summer, and I never know when they're going to do it. It's like the 4th of July. Okay, I can control it, and I
Right,
can get
you
her
expect
meds,
it.
Right.
but when she gets anxious and she's all trembling and scared,
sad,
it's
and they
so
don't know.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's like, she can't tell me what's wrong.
Well,
Exactly,
we
and they
might-
don't know what's going on.
We might have the solution.
We might.
Day 3 might help that, and we're going to
that
experiment.
would be great. Yeah, I would love to try that with her.
I've spoken to Frank about it. He said he's going to get me a tester, like a sample
That's
of the
awesome.
pet formula. So we'll work it out with him tonight because I'm going to see him later because Frank is shooting darts
At RC Dugan.
at RC Dugan's where Teresa works, and that's an excellent bar.
My friend Lily's working tonight.
And he's shooting for the Irish Pub, another excellent bar, and our friend Sean over there. And, you know, it's going to be a fun time. We're going to go afterwards. Well, some of us are going to go afterwards.
I'm going to go. I'll have one
This is
drink.
why I'm in trouble. I could never attend any.
I always go for
fun
one drink,
event.
too. And then
Yeah,
4
and then
hours,
there's,
5 hours
6
later.
drinks.
But Lily's awesome. She is working tonight.
Yes, she is.
And if you want to hang out with some of us, come down. No, I'm just saying because I don't want them to think you're going to be there when you're not. But if you want to hang out after the show, we're heading over there. And yeah, so shout out to Irish Pub, Dugan's, and
Dugan's.
Frank. And I see Paul Bond is watching. I want to give a shout out to Paul. V, I forgot to ask before. Paul, if your charity's still going on, I want to post for that. Paul raises money for kitties. And he 100% goes to it. What he does is he takes the money, he builds the communities, he gets the food, he pays the vet bills, he does everything. It all comes out of his pocket, so once in a while it gets a little too much for him.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
so
that's so
he
sweet.
asked for a little help, and you know, people have been pretty good to this point. I know it hit a little bit of a lull hitting his goal, and there's a couple of cats that do need vet. They have
Medical
vet bills,
attention.
and they
Yeah.
need it. Like it's kind of an emergency situation. I will say hi to Frank, Paul, and yes, hello to you
And
too.
say hi to my mom. I saw my mom was watching.
Hi, Mom. And Paul is an awesome guy, all around, very funny comedian. He's,
The best person ever.
yeah. And if you want to learn comedy, he's definitely the guy to go to. V just
You
posted
call
it.
my uncle Paul?
Yeah, we're gonna have to check on that. 'Cause I want Frank to take one of those classes too. Even if he
Yes.
doesn't want to do stand up, I think he would benefit from a class. So we'll work on that too. But I think that pretty much covers the stuff we have to cover for now.
Yes.
So let's get into it. Vera is an artist that has Vera Worthington's Fine Arts or Vera's Fine Arts?
You're Worthington Fine Art. Yeah.
And-
I pretend to be an artist.
You're-
I play when I'm
You're not pretending,
You're not
trust me.
pretending.
So I'll let you explain exactly what it is you do and show some examples, and we'll take it from there.
So I do an unusual kind of art. People think I'm talking about alcoholics, but I'm actually talking about alcohol inks. So it's an ink that's transparent like a watercolor, except that instead of diluting with water, it dilutes with alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol, grain alcohol. So like any kind of alcohol like that. Vodka, I don't think you can use because the proof is not high enough. Like you need something high, like 190 proof grain alcohol.
Everclear.
Wow.
Everclear, yes. I paint
Which we
with,
just go and drink.
paint with that.
Because we're
I don't drink it.
'Cause
I've
we're
never
insane.
even tasted it, and I paint with this stuff.
you have to come to
I've
New
never even
Orleans
tasted
with us, then you'll.
You
have
can't
it.
I
taste
will
it straight.
I will go with you, but I won't be drinking that.
You will, and you
They'll
won't even
sneak
realize
it in.
it. Yeah.
They'll sneak it
They
in.
use
That
it in
happened
everything.
to us.
Believe me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the first time was
no,
kind of
no,
a
no.
shock to us too.
No, that's okay. So yeah, these are some of my paintings here.
How did you find? I don't want to interrupt you. How did you find alcohol ink? Because
that's a great
I
question.
never heard about it until I found you.
Yeah, well, most people are the same way. I kept hearing my friend Lisa, who lives down in Easton, Maryland. She's talking about alcohol inks. She's actually a mosaic artist. She's very talented. And she was talking about her alcohol inks, and I was like, oh, okay. And then a year ago yesterday, I was down in Maryland visiting Lisa, and Lisa, I'm surprised you're not watching. But she said, oh, let's go art in my studio. I said, great, let's go. So not only did she show me some mosaic stuff, but she showed me the alcohol inks. She's like, you like watercolors? You're going to love these. You have to try it. And I'm like, okay, this is nothing like a watercolor. Like, it's transparent like a watercolor, but it doesn't behave anything like a watercolor.
Really?
Because I can paint a color into another color. Like if I have green down and I dot red for poppies or something like that, the red will push the green out of the way. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen, and
That's
it took
cool.
a while to get used to it. But she showed it to me a year ago, and I said, I don't know if I want to invest in a whole new art form. You know, I've got oils, I got acrylics, got watercolors. I don't know if I want to invest in something new. And then then a little birdie told me that they were on sale at Michael's for 50% off, and I'm like, oh, all right. So I bought a set. I bought a box of tiles from Home Depot, like 6x6-inch tiles. And I started playing around in my backyard. I was sitting out in the sun and, you know, enjoying the weather and just playing with the inks and seeing what they do. And, you know, some of my older art I feel was like very crude, and I was still trying to figure out how the inks work. But now that I've been playing with them for over a year, I feel like I got a really good handle on it. And as of September of last year, I mean, I was really busy. I can't even tell you how many commissions I had for Christmas presents.
That's
Let's
awesome.
start showing me some of the stuff. Give me some idea of what you do.
Okay.
I don't know where you want to start.
Should we start with, what do you
Let's
think?
start with the smaller ones.
Okay.
Build up to the big ones.
Well, I don't. Well,
So if it's on the phone,
I mean,
it might be a little
it's
hard
like,
to see,
how
but
are they going to see that? I mean, can you see that? You can't see that.
you might be
It's
able
like,
to.
It's really teeny, teeny, tiny. But yeah, I do some little.
Some people
tiny
might be watching this
pieces.
on the big screen TV, hopefully,
Oh yeah, that would be real cool.
like in the Irish pub. But Frank and
Well, they're
Sean
good.
aren't there tonight, but
And these are some little 3D skulls
Now,
that
how
I've
do you
done
do
also.
the 3D skulls?
I have a mold. I have a skull mold.
so
yeah,
cool.
so I put some resin in the mold, and then I drip alcohol inks into it, and interesting things happen. So it's like if I just put ink into it, it'd be like transparent, but I use a white mixative, so that way you can see the colors because the white's opaque.
That's
So
cool.
it does like these really fun and random kinds of things, and then, you know, I bling it out with some rhinestone eyes.
actually, I know V is paying attention. Let me know. Can you see the smaller ones pretty clearly? I know it's probably tough on the phone, but let me know how much you can see.
Get a magnifying glass.
And she says she loves Blaze.
Oh, Blaze. Blaze was a really, really cool piece that I did that Veronica just had to have. So I was like, it's going to such a good home. I was like, ooh, cool.
I
I'm
think,
so happy.
and I could speak from personal experience, like, your art really touches people's souls. You know, like, because I have Wilbur, that my
You
dearest
do, the
friend
little
here
piggy?
gave me.
Oh, Ma, this is the person who has the piggy that you didn't get for Christmas and you got a different one.
My
So
fault.
sorry.
It's my fault. I stole it.
But I do love it and has a good home. And then you painted Bailey for my parents. That
Yes,
was a
that was-
very big deal and a very emotional,
I think it was emotional
gift.
for all of us. I
Yeah.
didn't even know this dog. And Teresa contacted me before Bailey was even put down, right?
It was right. So
Yeah.
you guys know one of the times that I missed a show, which unfortunately is a lot, we were putting my childhood dog down. And it was really difficult, particularly on my parents. And when the last time I saw Bailey was on a Sunday, and the vet told them it has to be this week. And I contacted Vera because you just happened to post another pet commission.
It was a
And I
a
was
cat
like-
named Malarkey. That was a commission from my mom for her very good friends, the Bardys, who own Malarkey. So yeah, so you saw the
So
Malarkey
I saw
part
that,
today,
and I
you were
was like,
"Ding."
that would be the perfect. My parents' anniversary just passed, and I knew Bailey's fate, and I wanted to get them a really, really wow, blow their socks off gift. And let me tell you, my mom cried the entire night. Like,
I think
it
I cried
was-
when I saw that. I was like, oh my God. It's
It
like
was-
emotional for everybody.
Yeah, like, you touch souls, I gotta say.
So V says she can see a little bit on the iPad, so let's start showing them some of the bigger ones
Okay.
so they can really
Well,
appreciate what you're doing.
let's-
I just wish you could see this because the amount of detail that's on the small.
Oh
I
my
mean, that's
God,
gotta
I
be.
love that chick.
That's why I like
too.
this one.
That's
Look at it.
amazing. Like,
It's a
the
teeny tiny
detail is
beach.
insane. I wish I
Here's a bigger beach. I don't know if you can see this one. Can
It's a
you
little
see?
better. We'll direct you guys to
So this
her
is,
site.
This is in a box. This is like a velvet lined little trinket box or jewelry box. It's like a lovely gift. This is for sale, by the way.
That's actually a really cool gift.
Yeah, actually someone else commissioned me for a pet portrait, a little Yorkie that was really, really sick. Her name was Rhubarb. She was on like 10 different medications, and according to my customer, she was really loved and well taken care of, but unfortunately she went over the Rainbow Bridge. So she asked me if I can paint the portrait of the Yorkie, and I said, I would be honored to. She says, my sister-in-law's birthday next month, and that would be a great gift for her. So wow, she must be a really special lady. She said, she really is. So it's like, you know, I'm like, I do get a little emotional when people ask me to do such special things like that.
And it also
You
blew
know?
my mind away that I gave you the best picture I could find of Bailey, which was not the best quality, and you freaking nailed it. It was crazy. Like it was like I was so I didn't even think to like link it. Like you took a picture of Bailey and it was amazing.
Which one, V? She said you should bring it up to the camera. I don't know specifically what she's talking about, but...
V, can you see this one? This is Vlad. Oh, it's like the colors are not good. I'm looking. Yeah. The colors on the phone don't do it justice. I mean, the colors are so bright in person.
Yeah, they're
and
bright.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
vibrant.
This is like a
We'll
really
definitely direct you to the
vibrant
website.
color.
Yeah,
Just
we'll
watch
direct
it.
you guys to her site because the
That's
stuff is
upside down.
amazing.
It's upside down
Oh,
because
it's
the bat.
a bat. Yeah.
Bat's hanging upside down. So I went to the Citadel in Berlin, and they have a bat sanctuary. So I was
Oh my
inspired to paint a
God.
bat when we got back from Berlin in August, and
She wants you to bring that up
I
to the
did it
camera.
pretty much
This
right
one?
after. This is a
Like,
bigger
physically
beach
get up and
scene.
bring it up to
Sure, why
camera?
not?
See this.
I picked that one because the detail on it, and again, you're not going to really get the
Oh,
full...
the tiny
In
bit,
the
the
middle?
tiny flower field.
Yeah, let's see what you're doing
Can you
there.
guys see me?
There you
Can
go.
you see it?
You kind of get the idea.
See my big horse teeth?
And again, this doesn't really do it justice, so we will direct you to the website.
No? I feel like this isn't doing it justice.
You got the idea.
I actually just retook photos of the tiny 2x2 ones, which are these guys, and I just posted them with the prices and everything, and there's like a little chart. It's like ABC 1, 2, 3. So you tell me, oh, I want C3, and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, smart.
So, yeah.
Do you still have those little galaxies for sale?
I do. Yeah, there's 2 little galaxies. I just did the resin today, so they'll be ready to ship out like probably by Monday next week. So if anybody sees the galaxies on either my
They're
Instagram
very cool.
or Facebook page, it's Worthington Fine Art. So if you go to facebook.com/Worthington Fine Art, you'll find my art page. Same name on Instagram, Worthington Fine Art. Same page on Etsy. Not a lot up there. I'm letting my listings expire because I've sold 3 necklaces through Etsy.
Really?
And
I hear a lot
the
of
rest of my
complaints
art-
about Etsy.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
it's not
I
the
don't
show
know.
for it, but I was going to sell vintage on it, and a lot of people are like, no, don't bother.
Yeah, I feel like my art has gotten buried there. Like all I've sold is a couple of necklaces, and they were to people I knew. But I sell mostly through my Instagram page and Facebook, and sure, a lot of people I know have bought from me, but there's been plenty of strangers too, like through Instagram or Facebook, that are just like, hey, I love your art. How much is that? I want to buy it. And
Cool.
it's like blowing my mind. It's just amazing.
You do a lot of shows, too, which I know helps.
I do. Actually, can I do a plug?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
So this Saturday, we're doing a fundraiser for the Visiting Nurse Service and Hospice of Suffolk County.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so Lorraine Rimland is a watercolor artist who I met in June last year at the Long Island Art Guild outdoor fair in Heckscher Park. And I said, oh, alcohol inks. And, she's like, oh, you know alcohol inks. So I started chatting with her, and, I said, oh, you don't resin your pieces? And she says, oh, I'm afraid of resin. I'm like, no, try resin. Resin's not that hard. And I told her, just Google it on, on YouTube, just search for it, and it's easy enough. So we've become, artist friends over the past year. And she invited me to sell at this fundraiser in Mastic Beach. And I mean, I was so honored. If you go to my Worthington Fine Art page on Facebook, there's the information. There's also a link to donate to the fundraiser. And anyone who donates $20 or more will be offered 25 raffle tickets to win a piece of the donated art that day. So I will post photos on Saturday at around 2:30, and people can just say, okay, take half of my tickets and put it in number 6, and the other half put it in number 4. And you could win a piece of art that's been donated, and I am donating a piece as well.
V just posted your website.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's
Thank you,
the link's right
Veronica.
there if you want to click on it and get like a real idea of what the artwork looks like.
We didn't show this one. Oh, let's do this one.
That
So,
one
yeah,
is like
the-
amazing.
This is
Guys, you can't
hand,
see the
that I
detail,
painted.
but
should I go close?
You want to give it a shot? You want me to
let's
do
try
it? Is it easier or you want to do it?
Yeah, here.
I want to make sure I did.
Nobody wants to see me that close. That's why we
scared.
said for you to go.
Yeah, the Panda one. I spent
I
a
feel
lot
like I'm
of
not
time
very
on
good
that.
at this either.
Is
See,
See,
that
the
a
problem,
light?
if you see, it's the
Can you
shadow
see
and
it?
everything that's really
Can
kind of
you
throwing it off.
raise it a tiny bit?
Is that better?
A little bit
Yeah.
better. Yeah, that's a little better.
You know, the lights are designed to
It's-
reflect off of us,
yeah.
so it's not really getting.
It's a little dark. But
Guys,
You get the idea,
get the
though.
I wish you
idea.
could
get
see
the
how
idea.
amazing
There's a
this
better
is.
picture.
Detail.
There's a better picture on my page. And then I'm slightly goth. Don't tell anybody. But you know,
I didn't know that.
in addition to doing the Bat Vlad, I did Edgar.
Edgar!
That's another skull piece. He's for sale. I kind of don't want to part with Vlad because I love him, but I will sell him. I will miss him, but I will sell him. And then maybe
If it
try a
means that much,
couple
you
of-
keep that one and just make others to
I'll-
sell.
I'll paint another one if he sells. You know, I'm the artist. I could do
That's
that.
true.
You can.
And I've done that where people are like, "Oh, you sold that?" I'm like, "I'll paint you another one," and usually the another one comes out better. So here I'm like such a realist artist that I said, "Oh, let me try some abstracts." And I'm just like, I don't know, is this good?
I think they're very cool. They remind me of like,
like,
some
I
kind
don't
of like stone or like
This I thought kind of looked
crystal
like
or something. Geo.
Kind of looked like a beach. from
Yeah.
the sky.
That one
That's what I got from
yeah.
it.
And there's like a lot of gold flecks in it. It's really cool in person. This one too has gold flecks, and
It could be like a rock formation or something.
That's what I was thinking.
actually
when
I called
see
it
that one,
howling
or like,
fox.
like
Okay.
Do you see the fox? His
oh,
mouth.
I totally
So
do.
it's like his mouth is open here and his body's here. And I actually painted it this way. And then, you know, like after I painted it, I'm like, I don't know if I like that. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like that. I'm like, oh, I think I like it. You know? So it's like,
Well, that's the
the
thing with
cool thing
abstract.
about
Put it down
abstract.
there and
Yeah.
Just turn it around and maybe it looks a little better that way.
I totally
So,
see
yeah,
it too.
yeah.
Man, I
and,
need a cough button.
I'm sorry, I don't even have
Cough
anything
button,
for
oh.
you.
No, I just took stuff. I'm trying to be as professional as possible, but you're gonna have to deal with me drinking, coughing, and sucking lozenges.
We'll deal.
I think they'll forgive you.
And this is one last piece that I brought. This is a little tiny monarch butterfly who I titled her Elizabeth because Queen Elizabeth is a monarch. And she's a monarch. So
There you
it's her
go.
Elizabeth. And I like to name all my critters. You know, that's like fun for me to
I
name
like
my critters.
that.
Like I have a tiny little owl here, and his name is Claude. And I have a tiny little chickie here that I named Babette.
I love
just-
the little
I just get
chick.
silly with stuff like
But
that.
I think that's fun. I think also when you name them, it's easier for people to connect to them too. You
Yeah.
know, like
Greek Easter's next weekend. Get
It
on
is
it.
Orthodox Easter.
You didn't think I knew that, Maria, did you?
What's
We're
his
just waiting
name?
for
I
us.
forgot.
Well, she's waiting at
Oh,
Dooney's.
Bradley.
Aw,
This is
just
the
l-
panda's
I'm
Bradley.
just gonna keep
made me
rubbing
feel
it.
bad.
So yeah, so I was telling Dennis the other day about way back in the day. It had to be like 92 or 93, something like that. My mom took me to a miniature show because she collects these really cool room boxes. You know, she puts it all together with the little sofa and the pictures on the roll top desk, and there's papers and pens, and she's little vases and little plants and chairs, and it almost looked like our living room when I lived in Merrick back in the day. So she put together this little room box, and you know, she took me to this miniature show because I'm like, I have to see this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And you literally spend the whole time like this. You're at a table and you're like bent over, like looking at stuff, you know? So I was like, I'm gonna like take a walk around. So Mom's on the other side, bent over, and I see these teeny little easels. Not like this, like a little bit more like fine art easel. So I said, oh, this is cute, the easel's great. And he's like, oh, I have some frames too. And I'm like, oh, Mom's bent over the table. Give me a couple of frames in that easel.
Yeah.
And I painted my mom a little lighthouse scene and gave it to her for Christmas that year.
Oh, cool.
And she went crazy for it. So then she went back to a miniature show and she brought the painting with her. She's like, oh, I have to show Elaine. The woman had, you know, she was one of the vendors, and her business was miscellaneous.
Oh,
Miss
cool.
Elaine.
That's cool.
It was a really cute and clever name. So Elaine says to Mom, "Do you have any more?" And she says, "I don't know, but I'm sure my daughter can paint some." So of course I had more frames, and she might have even bought more, I don't know. And I painted more of these tiny little miniature watercolor paintings. And I mean, back in the day, you know, she was paying me like some pretty good money, and I couldn't believe how much she was doubling what she paid me and sold them.
Wow.
And like I couldn't paint enough. It was pretty neat.
That's cool.
So I picked up my watercolors again last year in March, and then after Lisa showed me the alcohol inks and I started getting a little better with the alcohol inks, then I said, you know what, let me get some tiny little 2x2 tiles and see if I can do the miniature paintings like I was doing with watercolors. So, you know, these are late ones. Some of my early ones weren't as good, but you know, I've kind of learned how to use this crazy, wacky medium, and I'm getting, you know, some pretty neat results. And you know, people ask me to paint things for them, and their expectations are exceeded. Which I mean, that
For
like
sure.
that makes my day.
I can
when-
speak from experience, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, how does
Oh,
that work
man.
if someone commissions you? I guess they send you the picture first, and it depends on the detail of what you're going to do,
Yeah,
the pricing.
it also depends on what they want. Like someone said, oh, we stayed with some friends over the summer and they love succulents. Can you paint a succulent for them? So that was a case where I just had to paint a succulent. Like I didn't have to paint a picture that they gave me.
Right.
You know, and somebody else said, oh, can you paint a lighthouse? Sure. So we were boating one day over by the Fire Island Lighthouse. I took some photos. I said, oh, great, I'll just
There you
paint
go.
from my own references, you know? And, you know, people have just asked me to do all different kinds of things, you know, from chipmunks to garden gnomes to, I don't know, elephants. I just did my 3rd elephant commission, you know, so, yeah, so, you know, give me a challenge. I love challenges, but I usually like to stick with nature. So like landscapes, animals, that kind of thing, pet portraits. Somebody wants me to do her cats sometime soon. So, you know, give me a challenge. I'll try to do it. I like a challenge.
That's awesome.
There you go. So if you have something, definitely check out her website. And again, it's there if you want it, Worthington Fine Art.
And just send me a message and we'll chat. We'll talk about what size you'd like.
And it's constantly updated. I know that
Yeah.
as you
Oh
put-
my gosh.
And
I
Vera
I
made
paint
it-
stuff every week and post new stuff like
Yeah.
every other day. So.
And you made it really easy. Like when I messaged, like I
Yeah.
already knew you, so it was a little bit easier for me. But you made it really easy when I told you what I wanted, and you know, I didn't really even have to ask anything. You gave everything to me. You know, like it wasn't like a nerve-wracking experience or anything like that. Like you made it so easy with what to send you and how everything went. It was.
Yeah, and I
It
told
was
her,
a
I'm like,
very wonderful.
Send me photos. How many? I don't know. Just send me a bunch and I'll pick the best one.
It was a
So that
very,
was
very
easy.
good experience for sure. And especially for such a sad situation, like Vera made it, you know, less painful. Like so, that's something that I really appreciate.
And that's what I mean about, that's why you are an artist, because there's a lot of talent to that, because there's nothing worse. I mean, it's one thing with something like this, especially you see with tattoos constantly.
Yeah.
Someone has something that means a lot to them, and they get this horrible tattoo on it because it looks nothing like the picture. I saw when you
that's why I
posted
don't
it,
have a
was
tattoo.
it was like spot on.
I'm
So
sorry,
the
didn't-
picture to what she painted for you,
Oh my God, yeah.
and that's what
Yeah.
you want. So whereas that might be generic, if someone had a specific animal that they wanted and you get it like you did,
Yeah.
The picture
that's worth a lot. It really is.
of Bailey, of my parents' dog, was very special to my parents, and it was, like I said earlier, it wasn't the best quality picture, but it had significant meaning to my parents. And you know, you handled it with such love and care, and were so helpful with me throughout the process and updating me and making it really easy. And like me and my parents were sensitive people, you know, and it really like blew my parents away when they opened it. And it was a cool experience for me, and like I said, it made a painful situation less painful. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for trusting me with such a special commission. Really.
It was
seriously.
I knew the second you posted the thing about pet commissions, it was like it was easy. It was like I
floodgates are
knew.
opening.
Yeah, totally. It wasn't even like a light bulb went off. It was like it's a sign, like happening.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was happy to do it. I actually painted my dog. I painted Violet for my husband's birthday back in January, and it came out pretty cute. I think it resembles her, but I don't think it's dead on, Violet. I think that
Might be different too, because you're the artist and it's your dog.
yeah.
You might be seeing
I
it
think
differently.
that was my trial pet portrait, and I said, well, let me see if I can paint Violet. She's really cute and white and fluffy. Let me see if I could do this. So I think if I were to do her again, I might do her with a little more life, the way I painted the highlights of the black dog with the blue.
Yeah, guys,
because
mind you, Bailey was a black lab. So it was just, from far away, it was just, a blob on the couch, so, and she knocked it out of the park. Like, all the life and the spirit, you could see it in the painting. It was a very cool experience.
Now, again, I know you can't really see this, but just to get an idea of what picture this is, how long does it take you to do something like this? Because there's a lot of detail in that.
This teeny tiny one, the tiny ones take me probably an hour to an hour and a half to do. Yeah, believe it or else. And
So I would think a bigger one would be easier.
oh my God, Bradley, the panda, took me, oh my God, maybe like 6 or 7 hours. I did it over 3 days. So, I would paint for a little while, like go have lunch, go back to it, paint for a little while, put it away, mull over it,
I
go
would
back
think
to
just
it
trying to
the
get the
next
small
afternoon.
detail would take so much time, whereas that you could, just be a little bit more free with the brush.
Yeah, I mean, the bigger ones are definitely easier, but like I said before, I like a challenge.
Okay.
So, I remember going to Blick and talking to one of the guys that work there, and I was telling him how difficult it is to paint with alcohol inks, and he's like, then why do it? Why not just do acrylic? And I said, because I like a challenge, which is the truth. I don't like easy things. I like stuff that's a little harder and,
There's more of a sense of accomplishment when you do it.
yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Makes sense.
I'm in an alcohol inc group on Facebook, and people are constantly amazed by the things that I do. I mean, this guy, they were just like, "Oh my God!" And they
that's
loved
amazing.
your dog portrait. They were like, oh, "You captured the spirit in her eyes." And
Totally.
when your mom said that, I'm like, "Oh my God!" A lot of other people said that. So yeah.
All right, so you could fit quite a bit of these in here.
Yeah, you could fit probably 8 of those in there, I'd say.
So I would buy one of these and a whole bunch of these. Everybody should buy one today. Just saying.
The box is really freaking cool.
You can keep the box and give these out as gifts.
We could do bigger 6x6. This is a 4x4 inch tile. And then the other ones, we could do a 6x6 box too. That's a special commission. So, a tile this size in a box, you'd have like a little, half-inch frame or something. And those boxes are just beautiful with the velvet lining and everything, and make really special gifts. And I actually did a few of those for Christmas. And I have tiny boxes too. So if you have like a special, let's say you bought a special ring or a special pair of earrings for someone's birthday or a necklace, they love beaches. So you could put a beach in the lid of the tiny little box. And
That's really
it's
cool.
like, it's a special gift box too. So
Now,
there's
I
a
know
lot
you
of
paint
different
other
things
things
you
too, because you had the Christmas balls.
yes. I
Is
did
that something
Christmas
you would
ornaments.
do as well, or are you just sticking? Well, I know you're sticking mainly to this, obviously, but if somebody wanted, you could pretty much paint anything. Then,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I've seen people paint vases and coffee mugs. I mean, you don't paint the top part where your mouth goes. It's the lower part.
Right.
But like I said, I like a challenge. So if somebody has an idea, like, you have a cool vase that you think would be cooler with your Worthington signature on it, just, send me a message on my page.
Well,
and
we had the Better Half podcast guys on, and they were very nice, and they brought us some gifts.
Super nice.
They got me a Ranger mug, so I was just wondering if possibly you could put a circle and a cross through the Ranger symbol.
oh, I could totally do that.
Good guys, I really appreciate it.
I love my Marilyn mug the way she is.
I'm not a sports fan, so like I'll cross out anything you want.
See, I'm just showing because I'm a lifelong Islander fan.
This is a
Okay.
funny story.
And what happened was a few years ago, I made a bet with a Ranger fan online that the Islanders would have a better season,
Okay.
and of course they didn't. So the bet was, as long as the other team was in the playoffs, I had to post a picture and say a positive thing every day about them. And the Rangers got all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, of course, that year. Luckily, they didn't win because I would have had to keep stuff up until the following hockey season. But it was getting tough to come up with things, so I was posting all these positive Ranger posts, and I had pictures of the Rangers, so it was really cool that they did that. They looked and did research, like, oh, he's a Ranger fan, let's get him a Ranger mug. So it was very heartfelt and
It
like,
was
awesome
very
gift.
heartfelt.
But I'm like, Ranger mug? Where'd you get that from? But then it made sense, so
Yeah, that's funny.
it's a good joke.
I got a Maryland mug, so mine was pretty awesome.
And shout out to the Islanders, man. Swept the Penguins in the first round.
Doing great.
We really don't talk sports here, and
I don't care. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a sports person either. But the only sport that I enjoy is hockey, and I'm an Islander fan, and I've been to Islander games. Now, you ask me any kind of intricate question, I can't answer it. But I did enjoy going to the games or whatever. So it is fun for me to see them doing well.
do you watch the Islanders at all? You know anything about them?
That's hockey, right?
I'm the same. People used to make
Some
fun of
people,
me.
like, even though they're not into sports, they might like one team or something. That's why I
Like,
was just
that's
curious.
me.
I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, Vera, let's go to an Islander game," I'll be like, "Okay," you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I'll have a good time. Like, you know, when I was younger, I've been to baseball games and hockey games, and I had a great time there.
Right.
But like watching it on TV, it's like,
Not
oh
the same.
yeah, what else? do you got?"
Totally. I worked Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football almost my entire bartending career, and someone would ask me a question, I'd be like, I don't know. Like X amount of
I don't
years
even know
working
who was in
that
the-
night, I still don't know shit about football.
Super Bowl is football. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even
yeah,
know
yeah.
who was in this stupid ball. I had no idea. Sorry.
That's
sorry,
what it was this year.
sorry
It was a
fans of
stupid
football, because I don't know.
I used to.
This year was very special for the Islanders for a lot of reasons. One, I mean, they've been the joke of the league for a long time, and I'm saying this as a fan, and it's true, they were.
Yeah.
They went through a $15 million payroll where, if you know sports, that's nothing.
Wow.
That's, you can't, like, that's two players on any
I'm
other
like
team.
happy when I sell a $50 painting. Okay.
They sold, but that was the entire team.
Yeah, that's
You know,
crazy.
when there's
Wow.
players that make 8 to 10 million a year, the whole team was making 15.
Oh, wow.
They sold to this guy, John Spano, who's going to save the Islanders. The guy had no money. But he faked them out and sold it. They've been an embarrassment for a long time. So this year, they ended up, I believe it was 4th overall in the NHL. After losing their top star, they got home ice advantage for the first time in like 31 years. And they swept the team for like the first time in like 35 years.
Wow.
And they beat the Penguins, who've been knocking them out in the first round the last couple of times they had to get into the playoffs. So it's just, you know, it's cool to see. It's like the Mets of '86 or something. It's like that underdog team
Wow.
coming out. So, and now that they took the Penguins out, I mean, anything's possible. I'm not going to get too excited because my luck is not that good, so I'm not going to start.
You're also
overdoing
talking
it.
to two people that just said that we don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Well, I'll give you an idea of my luck.
I mean, I'm happy for
We
you.
went to the car show today.
Oh, how
Yes,
was it? Was it
totally.
good?
It's good. I do have a rant I want to go on after I tell you the story.
Okay.
The Jeep has like an area where it goes through a course. Goes up and down steps, goes around things, and every year they had a bunch of things, and I always wanted to get the Wrangler to see what that was like, and they never did. So this year there's 4 Wranglers and 1 Cherokee. What are the odds that I would get the Cherokee? Me? 100%.
Uh-huh.
So then the guy goes, oh, well, because we were supposed to get in the Wrangler, and then they took 2 other people in front of us. I'm like, as I die. So
Don't die.
I complained to the guy. I was like 5 years I've been trying to get in a freaking Wrangler. There's 4 of them, and I can't get in one. And we were supposed to be in the other one. He's like, we really don't tell you this, but you can ask to go again.
Oh, that's good.
So, okay. So what's the odds of me getting the Cherokee the second
Again.
time around? 100%.
They can't like wave somebody through.
So what I
you
did
know,
is I just told the guy, I said,
funny.
I'm not getting in that again. I said, I'm doing the Wrangler. I'm not. Just stay back here. And then the Wrangler came and we went, and I finally got it. But
Well, I mean, that's good luck, though, because you still got what you wanted. You just had to work a little
I just
harder
had
to get
I
it.
had to complain and fight instead of 80% chance of getting a Wrangler, and I get the Cherokee twice in a row. So that's my luck. So that's why I'm not going to get overexcited for the Islanders, because I'll ruin it for them.
Aw.
But the car show, my rant is this.
Oh, that wasn't your rant?
Yeah.
No, that my rant is it, and this goes to car manufacturers and motorcycle manufacturers. People seem to be getting taller, but the cars are getting shorter. The cars are big, but there's no room inside. I'm only like 6'3". There's people that are a lot taller than me.
Yeah.
So as far as tall people go, it's not like I'm a freakishly big giant. There's a lot of people that are a lot taller than I am.
Yeah.
And I get in these big cars, my head's plastered to the top, or I can't get in. What was it? I think the Alfa Romeos. I was trying to get in, like my whole head, like I had to I was like, who drives like this?
You had to fold in
And
half
it wasn't
to get
just
inside.
sport cars, it was SUVs, it was big trucks, it was everything.
SUVs too?
SUVs and trucks.
Big people.
I thought so too, but apparently not. Apparently a big person is 5'10" to them. I don't understand it. But I do have to give Buick made a couple of good cars. Dodges were very good. Maserati. It was like a very small selection of cars that actually worked out, or SUVs that worked out for me. So if you're tall, I don't know what you do. And I had the same thing with motorcycles. When I went to the
You're not
motorcycle
hitting
show.
your head.
No, but my knees above the gas tank, or I'm like riding like a, you know.
It's like you're on a tricycle. Like a
And I'm upset with
tricycle.
Harley over that too, because Harleys always show these big, tough biker guys, and they make bikes for 6 feet and under. It's like, come on. But then they tell me, oh, you can modify it. Okay, so I'm gonna spend $30,000 on a bike, spend another
And then
$10,000 so I
yeah.
can fit on it,
Yeah.
and then start buying accessories for the thing. No, thank you. But BMW and Indian, size-wise, you're really good. They fit larger people as well. So that's my range.
Excellent. And how did you fit in the Jeeps?
Well, I'll tell you, I was a little upset. The Jeep has a new pickup,
Yeah.
and I sat in that, and I had like no headroom. And I was shocked because when we took our road trip out west, if you remember, we rented a Jeep, V and I, and had headroom. I was like, wow, this Wrangler's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Because it used to be really horrible, like a ride, and it wasn't bad. But now apparently I have to cut my feet off or something to drive these cars. I don't know what it is.
Did they have the purple Jeep at the show?
I didn't see the purple Jeep.
That's the only way I'd let Chris get one, but he wants a matte black Jeep with like red trim, and then we see a purple one on the road or in a parking lot. And he's like, "Look, a purple one." He's like, "He'd get a purple one," and I'm like, "No." I'm like, I have a plum crazy Challenger that I am plum crazy
I
about.
like the new
It's a really
Challenger.
cool
That was the
color.
new Challenger was a lot more comfortable than the older ones I sat in.
Really?
So
Really?
Maybe
Well,
I'll
mine's
just have to
only
get
3
one.
years old, so like it's old.
here's what upset me too. There's cars I've had that I fit in that I don't fit in the new one anymore. Now I'm like, why? Why are they
Aren't
making
people
them?
getting bigger?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, taller and wider, right?
There are
So
times
they're
I'm
not
at 7-Eleven, the
accommodating
kids come in
people.
from the high school, and I'm like, hey, what the hell are they going to drive?
I don't
So
know.
that's. What was that Buick? That was a good, decently
I'm 5'5",
priced SUV.
I don't have any of these problems.
Buick made
I
a
don't
really
either.
nice SUV that had all these features and everything. And not only was I able to fit in it comfortably, and it had cabin room and everything else, someone could sit behind me. Which is the other thing. If I did fit into a car comfortably, nobody was getting
Nobody's
behind
getting
me unless they
behind
didn't
you.
have legs at
Yeah,
all.
Yeah, you
But-
are not getting in my backseat. No way.
But a two-door, you kind of expect that.
Yeah, true.
And yet I fit in, what was it? I fit in a couple of smaller cars, yet the Corvette I couldn't fit into at all. You got a big American muscle
those
car,
are
but I'm fitting in
small.
these little Japanese cars. Come on, Chevy.
yeah.
Your Camaro's fine. I can fit in a Camaro. Get on it. And every year it
wait-
seems harder to get in the Corvette.
Were you looking for a car to buy, or you were just looking?
I'm always
to
looking for a
see-
car to buy.
How are you?
Yeah, he is.
Don't you have one of his old cars?
I have one of his old cars, yes.
I think almost everybody on Long Island has one of my old cars,
Yeah.
whether they realize it or not.
That's funny.
But
So
yeah, I got to give it up to Dodge. So Dodge,
There
might
was
not
a
be the best
period
gas
where
mileage,
every
but
time I
they
saw
make good,
him,
comfortable
he had a
cars.
new car.
Yeah.
how many cars have you owned in your lifetime? Sounds like a
Oh,
lot.
God.
I couldn't even figure it. Actually, someone did that, and I wrote everything, and she's like, "Oh, you forgot about the Buick. You forgot about this. You forgot
Yeah.
about."
Oh my
yeah, I
gosh.
don't know.
Yep.
Wow. You keep
So I
them for like
honestly
6
could tell.
months and get a new one, or what
No,
do you do?
usually like 8 months.
8 months. Okay. I don't know. I have a car for like years and years, and it's
I-
like, oh my god.
I
we
did have a
still
convertible
this
Mustang
car.
that I kept for 7 years, and it was a good car, but like drive-wise and everything, it was built like crap though. Like everything would break apart if you touched it. But it was a convertible Mustang, which I fit and fine. So when we went to California, V and I said, "Oh, let's get a convertible Mustang. At least I know I can fit in that. We'll have some fun." I sat in there and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like lower the seat. I'm like, it's all the way down, it's all the way back, and I'm reclined, and my head's on that thing. So I had to take the top down just to drive it. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's fun. Take
At least you got a convertible. You had the options.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Yeah. Like a
Well-
convertible Jeep, that's fun.
I was actually just telling Tony yesterday that I don't like convertibles, and he looks at me and goes, "Well, then you're never going to sit in mine," because like he, when he gets a convertible one day, I never had a good experience in a convertible. I've been in like Corvettes. My old boss Steve had one. He's like, "You never been in a convertible? Let me drive you around."
Do you have a
Hair was
T-top
flipping
or-
everywhere.
yeah.
See, that's what I hate about that.
Miserable.
The same thing happens
Your
to me.
hair
It's
just goes there.
everywhere. It's,
Your hair blew off altogether.
It did. It did. It's probably on Sunrise Highway somewhere. If you see it.
I used to have really, really long hair, and I remember just get smacking in my face, and I was like, "This is not fun for me."
You know what?
Yeah, I
It's
don't
fun
like that.
until you have a situation like that, or someone flips something out of the car, or you have papers in the back and you forget and you're driving. You're like, "Oh, there goes all that stuff." You know,
Trailing away.
there
And
are
if you don't have
downsides
a
to it.
ponytail holder,
Yeah, it was one of those, like, the first time that he drove me around his car, it was just like one day after work. He's like, "Oh, come on, blah, blah, blah." And, like, we just drove around Belmore a little bit, and I was like, "This sucks." Like, what, like, I did not enjoy it at all.
I rented a convertible out in LA. I couldn't tell you what car it was, but boy, was that fun. And I had the top down the whole time, and I'm looking around, driving down the freeway, and I'm like, convertible. Like, why do they all have their top up? It's June. Like, I don't get it.
That's the
I
other thing
have
too.
a
If it's
light.
really hot or really sunny, because I found that out when I first got the convertible, and I should have thought of it. I'm driving along. Next thing I'll get out, I'm like, ow, I get sunburn all over the place. I'm like, yeah, I should have thought of that.
Yes. But the top down was fun.
Or you're sweating, so you can put the AC on. So.
Yeah, you have the top down and the AC on.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well, I know people that do that. They want the top down so
Tony.
much they'll do it and have the heat blasting because it's too cold.
Oh,
They'll have the
God.
windows up and the heat blasting,
That's
but the
even
convertible,
sillier.
it's like if the windows are up, there's no reason to have the top down.
Yes. True. People are silly.
Yeah. Honda made a good convertible too. I forget what the name of that was. Not Honda. Buick. That actually fit in.
I saw some people in, it looked like a new convertible and like a really random like brand, and Tony was talking about it, and it's sports cars. You talk to me, it's like you're speaking another language, and he's like, da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what company you're talking about. He was like,
Same.
yeah, I have no idea, but it looked like a newer, cooler convertible, but I still would not be bothered with getting in it.
Like when Chris and I bought the Challenger, we're like, does the speedometer work? And does it have automatic windows that work? And could I use the remote to unlock it? Really?
Sold.
It's like our old CRV, like, oh, that's broken. I mean, the windows go down, but like you have to get in the passenger side and like crawl over to unlock the driver's side, and it's like it doesn't work. But it's a workhorse. It's a good car, and I pack up all my art in the back of that with grid wall and tables and chairs and stuff, and I can't fit that in the Challenger.
Right.
No
Right.
way. So
I had a
workhorse.
Subaru Forester, and I drove that thing into the ground because I didn't want to let it go. It was my father's first, and I got it when I was in like my late teens, and I drove it forever, and I didn't want to let it go until one day. I got my hair. I used to bleach my hair blonde, and I came home from the salon at Belmore to Merrick, and I heard like this crazy sound. So I just turned my music up. Couldn't be bothered. Park it and go. I was living at my parents' house. My dad comes home from work like a couple hours later. He goes, "T, your muffler's laying on the ground outside." I had no clue.
I turned the radio up. How'd that
I was
happen?
like, "What are you talking about?"
The sound went away. It
I
should have
must
fixed
have
itself.
looked like a lunatic driving home. And that was the last night I drove that car.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know
I
what was
miss
really
it.
cool that they had? They had a Ford pickup, and I don't know if it's a feature on all the pickups they had, but they had a tent that went up. So you get out, you go out the back, you go up a ladder, and then you're up above the truck,
That's cool.
sleeping in the tent. So I thought that was cool.
That is really
So
cool.
they've had things for a while, SUVs and stuff, where the tent just comes out the back, so you could climb right to your car from there and back. To me, that was kind of like cheating. Plus, then you got to find a spot where you can park your car and have a tent.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
sometimes, if you go out camping, you could unload your car, but then you got to get it out of there.
Do I look like I camp?
I used to go camping a lot.
I went
I love it.
camping
I don't
a handful of times.
Really?
Roughing it is like, a
If Karen's
motorade.
still listening, I know she knows all about camping. But the cool
don't
thing
camp.
about this truck, all you need to do is find a spot for the truck, because everything goes on top of it. And then the ladder comes out.
I see what you're saying.
That's pretty cool.
So
That is pretty
the
cool.
tent that they had out there was pretty small. I'm like, do they have options? Like, oh yeah, you get bigger ones and everything. I'm like, Maybe I'll have to start camping again just so I can sleep,
I only went
6
camping
feet
a
up in
handful
the
of
air.
times, and I really did enjoy it when I went. To be fair, I was drunk like the entire time, but I did really
Isn't
enjoy
that
it.
what you do when you camp? You just
Well,
get drunk
yeah, I
the
guess
entire
that's like.
time.
Well, I mean, maybe I
Build
don't know how I
fires and
feel
get
about
drunk.
it now. I don't really drink, anymore. But I did. I went to Alder Lake upstate, and it was gorgeous. I swam in the lake, and it
You
was-
barbecue, you get drunk, you build a fire, then you start throwing
Swim in
everything in the
lakes.
fire.
It sounds really nice until you're covered in mosquito bites and you can't sleep because the ground is really hard. And I don't know, this is just my observation because
I did
like
start cheating as the years
mattresses.
went on.
like
I got a
indoor
nice queen-size
plumbing.
air mattress.
Well, there are places that will have like the place that I went to that I'm talking about right now. It was like roughing it pretty much. Like you'd park your car, you'd walk and walk and walk till you found the spot you wanted, and that was that. But I have other friends that tell me about their experiences, and they have like there's like a bathroom with showers and
Yeah.
toilets
Yeah, I heard about
and
like
stuff
cabin,
like that.
cabin camping.
You could
Cabins,
do that.
yeah.
My sister would go in an RV, so it was kind of like.
See, I would
you
do
know.
an RV. Yeah, let's do that.
But I went real
drunk.
like old school camping one time where you actually had to row over to the island.
Whoa.
And no
I
electric,
can't
no
even.
bathrooms. No, it was like really roughing it. That was a lot of fun. I wouldn't do that anymore, but at the time it was cool.
I would not do that. I'm not even gonna lie. It sounds very, very cool, but I
I
would
watch
not
too much
do
Naked
that.
and Afraid. That stuff freaks me out. I'm like, no. I mean,
You know what?
I'm
I'm
sure
too
you camp
trusting.
with clothes, but like
Well,
no, the bug bites that I see, I'm like, no.
I'm too trusting
no.
of like what, like I still have a childlike mindset where I was like, ooh, a kitty, ooh, it's like a raccoon, it starts chasing me, like that's actually happened to me. So I feel like I would hear we heard a bear and everybody starts like smacking pots and pans and it went away, but like I'm the asshole. I'd be like, oh, a bear, like totally.
hey, let me feed it.
Yeah.
I just have to
like-
say, tents or have material about as thick as this, and yet people think once they zip that up,
they're
They're
safe.
they,
They're protected.
but
Yeah.
no, they think that nobody can hear them, like they're locked in their
yeah.
house.
Oh,
So you hear
that
all
too,
sorts of stuff
yeah,
too, which is
too.
pretty fun.
Yeah, but the idea that there's like bears out there, that like kind of freaks me out.
See, that
too.
excites me. I love that. I remember
It's like,
driving
I don't-
upstate. I saw a baby bear climbing into a dumpster, like just driving down some random road, and it was so sad and so cute at the same time. It's sad
Yeah.
because he's dumpster diving in the middle of the day. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday. I remember, and but Mama Bear is like not far behind. But like
Yeah.
the little kid of me is like, oh, the baby bear, and I want to like hug it, and and then I'd get mauled. So
Yeah,
that's why camping for
not
me is probably
appealing.
not a good idea anymore.
Now we got to camp it the easy way. Like I said, the last time I went, I had a blow-up queen air mattress that was nice and soft.
You're such a princess.
Yeah. I went.
That I think I would have to do. That
I went
too.
from just laying there
I
with
would-
some
I don't
stuff
like
on top to
blow-up
the
mattresses.
sleeping bag to a cot to now a big air mattress. So,
princess.
and I went from like old school tents to like a
Roughing
pop-up
it.
tent.
Roughing it.
It's so rough.
Yeah, I think I just had a really shitty sleeping bag that wasn't even mine, and a lot of beer to lull me to sleep, pretty much.
like a plan.
I remember sleeping on like we had our tent down. There's a tree by us. There's like a big root right where I had my sleeping bag.
Oh,
Kept
that
rolling
sounds-
around
that
it.
Sounds real comfy.
Yeah, the beer made it easier.
I'm sure.
All right, so we're about out of time. So once again, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and where your shows are.
So you can get in touch with me on Instagram at Worthington Fine Art or Facebook.com/Worthington Fine Art. How else? Etsy shop.
Yeah.
Forget the Etsy shop. I mean, you could shop there. You could see stuff there. I'll ship it out to you tomorrow if you see anything. But best way to, if you want to shop my albums, I have a couple of photo albums with, art for sale, like 6x6 for sale, 4x4 for sale, 2x2. That's inches. And, you click on the picture and you'll see the price.
I just
And,
laughed because I thought a Spinal Tap when they drew the thing wrong and they ended up with never mind. If you saw the movie, you got the joke.
I didn't see it, sorry. But yeah, and if anybody has any ideas for commissions, even if you don't need it until Christmas, like let's talk. Let's see if I can get you on my calendar, and I'll be very happy to paint something for you,
Cool.
and we'll have a conversation. And see what I can do for you.
Make sure you check out our sponsors, Kayla Logistics, Day 3 Botanicals.
Day 3.
Next week will be the last official Pinups Cool Cats and Comics show
Yeah.
before it switches formats and the new thing that we're doing. I don't know what we're doing last week. I was hoping to discuss that with you beforehand.
We figured out.
We should do something like a send-off type thing.
Yeah, totally.
So
We should
we'll
go
figure
have
it
a
out
drink
and let
at
you know.
Dugan's and discuss
That's what I was kind of hoping for. I'm not gonna lie, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.